podcast because we address the elephant. That's what I am. That's what I specialize in doing is addressing the elephant. I don't leave any stone unturned. I face the uncomfortable situations in the room. If there's an awkward silence, I address that shit because I want to address the elephant. I'm looking at him. He right there in front of me. Oh, we not gonna talk about this.
What are you doing today that makes you better than the person you were yesterday? That is part of the Ascension brand. That is the motto, the heart of what we stand for. When I pass away, I want people to know. I want people to remember me. Not for the time that I spent on this planet, but for the things that I have done to contribute to society. My mama raised a loser, but I broke the chains. I wasn't made to be a player, I was made to build a game.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Dirty Trunk Podcast, where the elephant is always welcome. It is me, your boy Marcus Morton. Always here with me is the Aaron Mack, and we're back in the lab once again at 4:20 a.m. on this lovely Saturday. But before we get started, please trample over that like and subscribe button. We do this for y'all because we love y'all. And we just want to give y'all the motivation to be better than y'all were yesterday. How are we doing, Mac?
Underslept. If that's is that a word? I don't know if that's a word. Like
Underslept.
yeah, I found myself in a predicament in this new situation of mine where sleep comes a lot less often than when I used to work at the last job, man. So yeah, and then Alyssa been sick, so she been coughing, keeping me up all night. Like, oh,
Well, your situation a little bit different. You know, you gotta take care of the, baby when she's not up for it. You know, sometimes I just couldn't be acting up or like she be sick or coughing or something like that. I come right up here, got a little futon in the back, lay my head tear down. I need to get at least some Z's or something.
yeah, man. Yeah. But other than that, man, I ain't been feeling too productive because this corporate America joint, I make more money than I did at the last joint. It's becoming very clear that the more money you make, the more problems you have. and this particular problem is the fact that I'm losing a lot of time to work on me. And that's a huge problem for me.
Come on.
That's a huge problem for me.
So, like, what is it? Is it taken away from? Like,
that's taken away. Like, they taking all of it.
come on.
The hours, man. Man, I'm talking like, yo, you go in that joint 8 o'clock, and we leave at about 6:30 every day. Joint closed at 6 most days, and you get off that joint like 6:30, 7 o'clock. The joint closed, but everybody got their last minute alterations that they got to do, and then folks like, bro, like I'm talking, bro. I ain't never seen such desperation in my life, bro. Like I'm like, yo, I'm not that damn desperate to make a sale, dog. But they got their metrics that they need to make, and they like, yo, we gonna push this joint out today. We gonna move hell and high water today. We getting this unit out today, and I'm like, bro, fuck out of here with that. Like, here I am talking about, okay, well, if this person want to stay, I'm gonna split the sale with them. Like, if I started the joint, like, I'm about to split this joint. I'm going home with my wife. Like, we not doing this, bro. They had us there till 8 o'clock last night trying to move a jet ski, bro. I'm like, send that shit out tomorrow, bro. Like, what are we doing?
Come on. Yeah. Corporate America
Fucking
jobs,
corporate
man.
America, man.
And it's weird, right? Because like That's almost at every job. Like they'll push their agenda and they'll have a speech ready for it. Like speech ready to kind of convince you that this is something you would want
This
too.
is
Like
the
you
way. Right,
right.
right. This is everybody's way.
And I'm like, yo, this ain't got nothing to do with me.
You
Like
know what I'm saying?
I ain't about to own this jet ski. I ain't about to get these packages that we sending out. Like I mean, I understand, be kind to others, but like let's be reasonable here. This is
You
ridiculous.
know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Just a nice way to say that if you don't do this, you're gonna get fired. So
Yeah, basically, yep.
you might as well do it anyway.
Man, that is that always teed me how like they say, and it's in the rule book, maybe somewhere in the rule book. I think I don't know. Uh, that you will not be punished or what's the word? You won't be sought after.
Retaliated.
Yeah, retaliated if you just you don't do the social norm. If you have a disagreement or something, or some workplaces they promote disagreements. Like let's find a better way to do this. Because we've been doing the same thing for years. Maybe there's a different, better way we can do this. But it's always, especially like smaller drinks like fast food restaurants are real big on that. Like managers be, I'm like, bro, we make food for people. Like it's not that deep. We ain't no rocket scientists. We ain't shooting people off into space or nothing. We ain't curing cancer. We making food.
You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? These ain't COVID care packages, dog. These cheeseburgers.
I'm like, yo. But yeah, it's insane. Uh
Man.
not much has been going on my end. We're getting ready, trying to prepare for Monday. Um, court's a little worried. The little guy, he has to go in for surgery. Finally
Mm.
getting that the hernia removed. They thought it was gonna close up and go away on its own, but you know, uh, it didn't. Um,
Is it a belly button joint?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah. Amara might have the same issue when she get a little older.
okay. Is that like a
Yeah.
common thing, or
Yeah, it is. It's just
mm,
the way the umbilical cord kind of heals up once they cut it. Um, I think it might just be a matter of it just didn't get cut enough, but
mm.
I don't know.
But yeah. That's about it,
Yeah,
man.
ain't no need to be worried about that.
Yeah, it's a very low risk surgery, but you know how
Yeah, that's joint
mothers and their
outpatient.
children's, yeah,
Like you only had to get put to sleep for that if you don't want to. Like,
yeah. If
but
I think if they're calm enough, since he's so young, they don't know if he's gonna like squirm or have a reaction
oh
to.
no, they putting him to sleep.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They putting him to sleep. That's gonna be way too much blood.
Come on,
No, no,
don't
we
let
not doing
Courtney
this
let
today.
you into that.
We not doing this today.
Oh man, Courtney
Is that
gonna have
my
to
blood?
quit.
Is that my blood? Yeah, yeah. You're okay. Uh-huh. 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 Yeah. Yeah. We ain't doing that. We're gonna put your ass to sleep. Not doing that. All right.
Big fact.
So in the in the same vein of what I was just talking about with my workplace, you know, I was just sitting back just thinking about why something like that would happen. What would make something like that take place in a professional space where people are accustomed to to selling. Because in my mind, right, I'm just like, yo, y'all rolled up here at 4:20. This is a 3-hour process. Plus, we got to get your joint ready. You not taking this home today.
Mm.
Like in my mind, I'm just like, yo, you come back get this joint tomorrow. Like we not doing this today. I'm not staying late. They not staying late. We got families to get home to, just like you trying to get home to. And like for real, like most of the time, the customer be up in that joint rushing. Like, man, I'm ready to go. Man, y'all taking too long. Man, this is. I'm like, we. This is happening. We moving hell and high water for these people.
Come on. Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm just like, yo, for all that, we might as well just tell them to go home. We had a joint ready first thing in the morning when we open. Like, why are we that desperate, bro? Like, I'm there to make sales and like I'm the breadwinner for the house, right?
Mm.
And I'm not even that damn desperate to make a sale. But these dudes be they be putting their personal vehicles on the line. Like one dude, he loading shit up on his truck, on his personal truck, and loading and taking the shit like hours away just so they can say they made a sale on that day. I'm like, bro, what the fuck is this?
Oh no. Yeah, no.
I'm like, bro, I'm not about to. And he got a wife and kids at home too, bro.
That's insane. Like, cause like what say something happens in transport with, the customer's vehicle or whatever the customer just bought and the man's personal vehicle, that's a double whammy. You out of a job and a vehicle. Well, I don't know how strict they are
Triple
with stuff.
whammy.
Triple
Triple
whammy.
whammy. You out of a what? Yeah, you out of a job, a vehicle, and the customer missing out on their stuff too.
Ooh. Yeah, that's and my thing is, right, we get wrapped up in the 9 to 5. We get wrapped up in it to where we're doing things like that. We're sacrificing not only time but like just doing these outlandish things to I don't know, get a promotion or to get get looked at in a positive light by the higher ups or something. And I'm like, why what makes us do this? Because we wouldn't do this in any other field. Like, we've done another episode where we said like a wife or your significant other, they wouldn't put all that time into uh making you happy or making the opposite person in that relationship happy, but they're going the whole 9 yards for they balls for the job. They
Yeah,
sometimes they taking the job
yeah,
back home to work
yeah.
on like his homework or something, and I'm like, bro, this is after hours. You ain't getting paid for this.
Right.
That stuff is gonna be there tomorrow. That stuff is gonna be there the next day and the next day. It's called a job for a reason. Work is gonna always be there. Somebody's gonna do it. It's gonna either be you
Right.
or the next person beside you. I'm like, it's gonna get done. And I'm like, yo, I don't know how managers do it. I don't know if they take a class on like how to persuade people to to do things, but like they'll have this whole speech to get you pumped up and motivated or to feel a certain type of way to do those things, to take work outside of work and do more stuff at home so you could be more productive or more efficient the next day or something like that. And I'm like, no, fam,
Yeah.
no.
Obviously, for what I do, it is a little beneficial to do a little bit of work outside of work. Like, um, with my YouTube channel
Mm-hmm.
in place, like it does help a lot for my brand at work. like it does draw a few people in there every now and then. At this point, it's still a small channel, but it still draws some people in to check out the store, which is helpful. Like there is a little bit of need to to work outside, just reaching out to people, just talking to people, cutting it up with folks. Like there is a little bit of a need for that, like in sales. But and Marcus's point, we're talking about jobs where there is no residual comeback.
Mm.
You in a cubicle job and you doing all you do is type all day and answer phones. It really don't make much of a difference if you do something outside of work anyway. It probably don't help your bottom line at all. Like, yeah, you spend hours at home researching something or doing something or making a phone call or whatever the case is just to save 20 minutes when you get into the office.
Mm.
It
And it's
really
like,
don't sound like it don't sound like a good trade for time.
it's not. But somehow we justify it. And I'm like, it it doesn't make sense because it's like we get so tunnel vision that we forget the life we have outside of the 9 to 5. And
Uh-huh.
once you get into that mindset, once you're in that tunnel vision, you become so depressed. You just there's no happiness in your life. The light that you did have, going into the job, you're like, I'm only doing this to, take care of my family and all this other stuff. We gonna get right off this job and all this other stuff, and you just you dig a grave. You just get deeper and deeper into this dark hole that you come home, you're miserable, you don't got the energy nor time to spend with your family, and then it reflects. Like, I don't know if people actually think deeply when they start families and whatnot, but like not being there, not being a part of your family's life, like what type of influence can you have later on in life with your family when you're not there most of the time? Like, how can you
Not
sit there
much.
and tell a child or a teenager, hey, don't do this, or hey, you know you need to be working towards this life, or a some type of mirror of the adult life, and then they rebel, and then you look at them like, well, you should be doing this, but they're just like, you're never here, you were never here, you're not present when you're home, you're thinking of work. We only see you about maybe 4 hours a day, and then we got to go to
If
bed,
that,
and then yeah, if
if
that.
that,
4 hours
because
are
you were
generous
supposed
now.
to you were supposed to get off at 6 o'clock, and you ended up at home at 8 o'clock. But by the time you got home, only thing you did was ate dinner and go to sleep, and
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't even an hour.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah. I'm well aware of my current dilemma. Well aware.
And it's not just Mac that's in that dilemma. There's countless of people around America that are in that same boat, that have been through that are still now well in their 50s, 60s, and up, still working that same job that gave them that relationship with their offspring, their kids, and they're still trying to make up for that lost time. Like, you don't know how many old cats I talk to now be like, yo, all my money is going to my kids and my grandchildren. You know, I think the world of them. I'm buying them, you know, everything I can, and you living in this like apartment complex or something, or like a what are those Section 8
Trailer.
houses like? Well, yeah, trailer park, or you know, something that's very low means, like it's very low bearing fruit, you know. And I'm like, is this life? Like,
Mm-hmm.
is this all that we amount to? You know, like we. I'm like, why didn't you
It has
have
become life to many.
a drive to, you know, give them a better start? Like, yeah, you're probably, you know, buying them, you know, luxury things. You know, you getting the kids, you know, the top notch iPad and phones and all this other stuff. But like, there's a new one gonna be out the next 6 months or the next year or so, and then what? Like, you gonna just continue doing that? You gonna continue spoiling your children and grandchildren?
All right.
And
So let me clear up what you're saying right now, because like I get what you're saying, but it's coming through a little funny. And I want to just make it clear that what he's talking about is you are trying to substitute the affection that you were supposed to give your family for things.
hmm,
Instead of spending time with them, you are trying to justify the fact that you didn't spend that time with them by buying them up things instead of using your money for what it was supposed to be used for as a tool to move you into the next step.
yeah, yeah, and it's too many people's reality, man. And I'm like, we gotta learn to do better. You know, I see the shift. I see the shift happening where people are coming out of that. They are taking more personal days to spend time with family, to get them to just reboot, because it's not normal. It's not normal to be working, you know, 6 days a week,
No,
spend a whole day with your family, and then go back to that 6 days a week, and the only drive you have is, I get that one day off to spend time with my family. That's the only thing pushing you forward. You a corpse walking, and the only thing on your mind is like, I just got to get to that one day off so I can spend with my family, buy them all the things I want, and be right back at square one, because we're not moving forward. We all just sitting here in a pond, not going nowhere.
damn. All right, so bro, I don't even know how to move forward on that. It also might just be the fact that I'm tired too, so that just might be, the the catalyst for my slow motion. I'm probably talking in slow motion right now. I feel like it. I feel like I'm talking in slow motion.
You
Um,
you
but
pretty
bro,
good. Mm-hmm.
I just don't understand. Like, I don't understand how people end up moving so desperately through life to make things happen. Like, I just
Mm-hmm.
don't. I don't get that, man. Like, I don't understand how. Like, in the case of in the case of the people I work with, bro, they all competent people, but for whatever reason, like competence in the way that it's supposed to be, in the way that it's supposed to be displayed. Like, I've never seen a confident person, like a truly confident person, get that desperate over making something move. And I've just been trying to wrap my head around it like that, but like from what I'm able to see based on some of the things that I've heard, some of the things I listened to, bro, like if you are truly confident, you like, yo, I'm balanced in all portions of my life. And this is throwing me out of balance. This situation right here is throwing me out of balance. So let's take a beat, back up for a second. Let's reevaluate what we got going on here and tell this customer to fuck off. You get your shit tomorrow. Like, what are we doing? Bro, go home. Like, you got a newborn at home, you got a daughter at home, you got a son at home. Like, bro, y'all go home. We come back and do this tomorrow. Like, it I don't understand how competent people can end up in those type of situations.
You know, like you said, it's a place of desperation, and instead of trying to, you know, do their own thing, get into their own bag, dwell in their talent to, you know, produce something that would push them way past that safety net. That's all they know. They're doing it. Their parents did it. Their grandparents, and we've said that before. But it's like you'll do anything when you're desperate. Like, you'll work any job. You'll take on any type of problem, any any type of task that, you know, the job calls for. You're up for it because you're desperate. You're gonna do it. You can't not do it. You can't not please the person that's above you, uh, because you need the money. You need that. You need that paycheck at the end of the day. At the end of the week, you need that whatever amount you make. You need that because you haven't uh leveled up or learned that skill to not be desperate for money. And a lot of times that's the only reason people have jobs. That's the only, there's no I got this job to learn the trades of the marketing system or how to run a chain, a restaurant chain or something. We're not getting jobs for that. We're getting jobs to pay the bills, have something to spend on luxury, or take our girl out to eat, take our significant other out to eat, and that's it. If the job checks all the boxes, we'll do anything for it.
All right. So I want to read the thing that brought us to this episode
All right,
because I I don't want to dance around it no more.
all right, let's get it.
During a study at Harvard in the 1950s, Dr. Kurt Richter placed rats in a pool of water to test how long they could tread water. On average, they'd give up and sink after 15 minutes. But right before they gave up due to exhaustion, the researchers would pluck them out, dry them off, let them rest for a few minutes, and put them in for a second round. In the second try, how long do you think they lasted? Remember, they had just swam until failure only a few short minutes ago. So, how long do you think? Another 15 minutes, 10 minutes, five? No, 60 hours. That's right, 60 hours of swimming. The conclusion drawn was that since the rats believed that they would eventually be rescued, they could push their bodies way past what they previously thought impossible. If you if hope can cause exhausted rats to swim for that long, what could a belief in yourself and your abilities do for you?
All right, so did you want to go first or?
No, you got it.
All right, so first time I read it, uh, it 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 brought me back to I don't know if it was on the podcast or maybe we were just sitting around talking, but I heard he was talking about how he I think he went to his wife's job and was helping her out with the kids or something like that, or he was in a setting where he was teaching a group of kids, and
About the math problems.
yeah, he was like, all right, I'm gonna come over there and help you out later, but just do these other math problems first and that you know, and then, you know, by the time you finish I should be over there. And about time he actually gets over there, the kid has already done all the math problems. He figured out the one that he was struggling with, and it just clicked that was the positive side of that reading. But then there's also a negative side that I would just it just clicked in my head, and it baffles me it didn't click sooner. But that's a work week. That's
Say more.
basically that's a whole work week. That 15 minutes, that's your 40 hours, 40 to 60 hours a work week. That little break where they pluck you out, that's your weekend. That's your day off. That one day off, and then you're back in the cycle for another 6 days. And like I said before, the only hope that you have is that day off with your family. That's the only drive that's pushing you forward. And I'm like, man, it's a whole psychology behind why we are so desperate for a job, but we just can't put that desperation in ourselves to be successful or to it. I mean, like you said, I've been at Amazon for 3 times out of my life. I think third time was the longest time I've been there, but it was something easy. I ain't had to put too much thought into work. I ain't have to do this elaborate application or type up this elaborate resume, have this elaborate interview plan. They literally, you want to work here? All right, come on. This where you gonna be stationed at.
You didn't need to believe in your abilities.
Yeah, yeah. Ooh, all right.
So
That
the
hurt my
thing
heart a little
that
bit.
bro, I'm in the same boat. I'm in the same boat, bro. Like
Yeah,
it, no, it's possible for me to leave for me to just quit my job today and be like, all right, yo, look, for real, all the effort that I put into that job, like that's fine and dandy, but I gotta put that into my business now. So I quit. I'm gonna hit the road. I'm gonna go sell my books. Like
yeah.
real talk. Like I could do that and be successful. I should be able to like. Oh wow. And I want to make this abundantly clear. And I need some space. So give me some space and opportunity to jump into this because it needs to be said, bro. Like for real. I have been saying that the Eighth Universe is going to rival Marvel for shit 16 years now. I don't know, somewhere around that. 15, 16 years now. Ever since 2009. You count that up. But 15. So for the last 15 years, I've been saying that the Eighth Universe is going to rival Marvel. Now that is a strong motivator, right? You would think. However, that motivator has not been at this point strong enough to make me move in that direction. No matter how much, for whatever reason, no matter how much I have faith in the product that I'm creating, the stories that I'm writing, and the books that are on the shelves today, no matter how much stock I put into those things, for whatever reason, I still resort back to corporate America. Why is that? Now, you may be saying, well, you need a stable job until you get on your feet. Well, it's hard to write a book. Well, you're not bestseller yet, so I can understand why you're still working. All these things. And if that's the thought process that you have, then I completely understand that you came up with that for me. And thank you for trying to give me an excuse. But however, I know for a fact that belief doesn't work like that. Here's belief: believing that you're going to succeed, believing that Aether Universe is going to be rival to Marvel. And it's not to say that I don't have belief that is going to happen. It's more like faith now, because we're moving backwards. We're not believing anymore, because believing is close to knowing. All right, let me back up for a second. So at first there is hope.
Mm-hmm.
So hope is I have no clue where I'm going, but I'm hoping that something goes my way so that I can figure it out. Hope is I have absolutely no clear vision of of what to do. I just know that I'm not going to be able to figure it out until somebody comes, or opportunity comes, or luck happens and pushes me on into the right direction. Hope it or right after hope you got belief. And belief is now I have a clearer picture of where I'm going. And if I do this, then I know it's going to get me closer to what I'm trying to do. And then you have faith. Well, no, faith comes before belief. I butchered that. But it's all good. You have faith that if you do something, then then something is going to come in return. And then there's belief where it says, I know what I got going on. I know the eighth universe is this. So here's how I'm going to move accordingly. So a lot of people in this world, they move on on faith, and they're acting like it's belief. So I could easily quit my job and say that I'm not doing anything but eighth universe, because I know the eighth universe is going to make me successful. But for whatever reason, I don't necessarily have the belief that that's going to happen. I have faith that is possible. I have faith in the possibility that that can happen, but I don't necessarily believe in myself that is possible right now. And that is why I keep reverting back to corporate America, why I keep allowing them corporate America to keep this chokehold on me. So in my particular sense, I'm an author. So I have a visual representation of what success looks like. And some of you don't really know what success look like for you because you haven't defined it yet. And if you don't define what your success is, you can't have faith that you're going to move into a certain situation, because you don't know what that situation is. You're just hoping that something comes along. You're hoping that something comes along and teaches you what that is, but you had to define that yourself. So you'll never be in that, and you'll never be believing your way to faith, or you never have faith that you're going to get to that belief that you could be successful doing what you can do, because you don't know where that is.
Mm. Yeah, and it's it irks me, right? Because like you said, people will have that. They'll have the faith. They'll have it. They can sit there and talk to you about their faith until
No,
they
no,
blue
no,
in the
no.
face.
We not talking about some biblical stuff right now. We're not talking about Bible.
Oh no no
This
no!
is this is a completely different conversation.
I got you. I got you. I'm talking about all right, I see how it sounds. Yeah, but uh, the person that we used to work with that wanted to start up photography, or the person that talked to us wanting to uh start their own comic book, or so forth and so forth, that always wanted to start something, that always wanted to you know do something other than the 9 to 5, but they all had the same issue. They didn't have that belief in themselves, like you said. We would sit there, talk to them for hours. Man, they talented. Some of them even already got the tools and the gear
Yep.
to just push them forward, but
Yep.
they couldn't get over that one heel. They couldn't get over that heel of, if I leave this job, there's gonna be so much coming on the back end, so much, work I have to put up. It's
Yep.
they, they didn't have enough belief in themselves. Like,
Yeah. They all had faith that they
all
could do
had
it.
it,
They
all
all
had it.
had faith. Every last one of them had plenty of faith. They had plenty of faith they could get it done, but nobody had any belief at the end.
Hmm.
Like now that this product is created, what are you gonna do with it?
Right?
Where is it going?
Nah, I truly
So
believe it was on that means too. Like, none of them really thought about the end goal. They thought about starting. They thought about doing it. They working in it, but like they didn't scale it. They didn't figure out how to end the product if they wanted to. How to make a company or a career out of it, and bring people on. They didn't know how to do any of that. But yeah,
so one thing that made this apparent to me that um man, and it kind of hurt, bro. Cause I was thinking about like, yo, how did you put yourself in this mindset? Like, bro, like
yeah.
where'd you fall off at? Like you always got a plan, but yet for whatever reason, you you always got a backup plan just in case it don't work. Like, how is that effective? Like, how do you have a backup plan for a plan that you have faith is going to work? Like, what do you need a backup plan for if you got faith? What do you need a backup plan for if you believe that you're gonna be in a certain situation? What do you need that for? So, I'm talking to my friend Bree, and she tells me, she says one of our old coworkers, one of our old counterparts, he returned to Amazon, and this guy was at the same level we were. It took him years to get there, but for whatever reason, he left because he had this whole plan. He said he was gonna leave, go to a different job. He was gonna he had a he was streaming at the time. Don't know if that's don't know if that's still a thing. And he was a DJ also. Not sure if that's still a thing. Yeah, he was doing parties and stuff. Had a few gigs lined up. We were talking about equipment and all that other stuff. He would have bought a trailer for his equipment, all that stuff, bro. He said that that's what he was doing. He was going to be a DJ. All right, cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So he had the plan. He was gonna go work for this other company, be a DJ on the side, and try to build up his reputation, build up his clientele, whatever the case is. He had this plan that he was going to get into clubs and work a few clubs, try to work a few clubs, and we kind of lost touch after he left though, but it was, man, like a year and a half now, right? Like, it hasn't been a no, it's been like a year since he left. And for whatever reason, all of the plans that he had obviously fell through because he came back to work for Amazon, where he started at. So we like back at square one. And he's not even the only person that has that same story. There was another guy who was also a counterpart of mine who left and he came back. And this guy also has a whole bunch of family that work there. So I can almost imagine that, the belief is more in tune with we can survive here.
Hmm. Yeah. And that's another thing about the system that you just explained. The only size of belief that we believe in or that we can muster is survival. It's always from a place of survival. It's never on a place of uh
Thriving.
thriving, living. It's
Just leave it at that. Thriving. Because if you can
it's
thrive in life, you are living. There's no there's no
right.
there's no mistaking that you are living when you say you're thriving in life. There's no mistaking.
And the thing is, be- because we don't learn what that looks like, or we don't learn how to reach that. Like you said, we go to what's easy, what comes the fastest, and it's a job. Like, you can, there's people out here thriving on literally the bare minimum and live happy, healthy lives. But we have people out here that are struggling, that are surviving, and they make less money. They make more money than the people that are just thriving, right? You don't have to buy the fancy luxury vehicles. You don't have to, you know, rent this $1,000 a month, $1,600 a month uh apartment or something. You don't need all that. For the time being to start out. You know, do something that I don't even know. Do something that'll put you in that space where
Remember we talk about belief here, but none of that. We not talking about things and having stuff. We're talking about one's ability to move outside of what they're currently doing with the faith that they're going to make it off of their own efforts. So the goal here in life was never to work a job. We were never that was never supposed to be the job, the
the
situation.
goal. Yeah.
Nobody was ever supposed to be like, okay, I'm going to corporate America and be like, all right, that's what I'm going to do. I'm gonna be a corporate America drone for the rest of my life. It wasn't the plan. The plan was we were supposed to go to corporate America, use corporate America as a tool, and make something of ourselves outside of corporate America, so that we don't have to pass corporate America to the next generation.
Mm.
That was the goal. And somehow, somewhere in the history of people, we have lost the ability to believe in ourselves
So yeah.
enough to start something outside of corporate America. We have lost the ability. So, bro, back in the day, and I brought this analogy up before. Back in the day, your name used to mean something.
Mm. Yeah.
Like, for real. Somebody would know, like, okay, those that's the grants. They
Mm.
the steel people. The Rockefellers. Oh yeah, that's the business people, the lawyers. You used to say, like, okay, like maybe, your name was Black. Okay, yeah, you were the blacksmith of the town. Like, you can bang the joints out on the anvil. Like, your name used to come with a meaning. Your name had a definition to it, bro. There's people out here who they have items, objects named after their families, bro. Like, your name used to mean something. Well, most people's names used to mean something. My family in particular has never had something like that. My family has never been known for anything, because they never had the belief in themselves to move outside of corporate America. Every time somebody tried, they always had a safety net. And I promise you, if you think you got belief in what you're doing, having a safety net is not belief. Having a safety net is hope.
Yeah.
All right. All right. This conversation too advanced. I got it. I got it. All right. So check this out. As somebody who's been working on a book for the last 15 years, is it more beneficial if you if you knew for a fact that you were going to actually let me ask this question. Mark, if you knew for a fact that your abilities to make video games was top tier, you knew for a fact that you can do anything and everything, you knew everything, you had the means to figure out whatever it is that you needed to figure out, and there was nothing that was going to stop you. If that was the case, like in your mind, like if you knew for a fact that there was nothing that was going to stop Morton's Castle from succeeding, what would you wake up and do today?
I'd be doing just that.
Well, today is Saturday, so you off normally, right?
Yeah,
But on Monday, what would you wake up and do?
just that. Be working on video game, knocking them janks out the park. But yeah, oh,
So faith ain't faith is not let me have this plan and this backup plan just in case. The fuck you need a backup plan for if you got faith you're gonna succeed in something?
yeah. It's
And
it's it's the same thing as it's the same thing as doubt. You just sugarcoating your doubt. You you got faith that your skills, your
that's the
talents is
opposite.
gonna put you forward, but you got that safety net, that ball and chain. You know that life preserver. You know you just afloat. You know you ain't swimming towards safety. You ain't swimming towards thriving. You just sitting there floating in a sea of uncertainty. Cause for whatever reason, I don't even know why we don't have that mentality of, all right, I believe, I have faith in my skills, and I'm gonna go for it, and I ain't gonna focus on nothing else but this talent, but these skills.
because because doubt is the opposite of faith. And with every bit of faith is just as much doubt.
That mhm.
So you got two 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 parcels of faith. You also have 2.5 parcels of doubt because it's easier to doubt than to have faith. It's easier to be negative than it is to be positive because we see more negative and our brains are more subconsciously connected to the negative than it is the positive. So you have two parcels of faith, 2.5 parcels of doubt. You'll never move into belief because that doubt is keeping you from believing in yourself.
Mm.
That doubt itself is too heavy for you to move into belief in your own abilities in yourself.
All right. So what can we give the people to kind of push them forward? We address that we're a group of humans that we there's too much doubt in our minds. There's too much negativity in the environments of the 9 to 5 uh of the life that we're living. There's too much negativity that we don't see any positivity for our talents, for our dreams. What can we give them?
All right, y'all. Check this out, man. All right. And I want y'all to understand me like as I say this, right? Because I'm there with you. I'm not I ain't nobody like like you listen to me or not, bro. Like it really don't matter at this point. I'm not a psychotherapist. I ain't been to school for psychology. None of that, bro. I just understand human nature. and I understand human nature because I'm in the process of wanting to understand myself and how I operate in this world, where I am going in this world. So I understand things and I face the uncomfortable things. And, it's the reason why this is called the Dirty Troll Podcast, because we address the elephant. That's what I am. That's what I specialize in doing, is addressing the elephant. I don't leave any stone unturned. I face the uncomfortable situations in the room. If there's an awkward silence, I address that shit because I want to address the elephant. I'm looking at him. He right there in front of me. Are we not going to talk about this? Let's talk about this. So, for real, I am nobody special, fam. I ain't got a degree in this stuff. Like I said, I ain't been to school for this. I don't know nothing about it. The only thing I know is what's going on in here. So I can just imagine that based on where I come from, that most of you who listening to this is coming from the same spot. You coming from 9 to 5. You coming from corporate America. You coming from the hood. You coming from the bottom, and you working your way up. That's all I know. And I like that's my particular situation. And I know that's some of you that's listening to this, that you coming from the same spot. So when I say that this is the journey that I went through, I am not saying that because I'm trying to boast or be prideful in where I came from. I'm saying that because somebody can listen to that and relate to the thought process that it takes to get to where we going. I'm not trying to brag. When I say 15 years in the trenches, I don't say that to brag. I say that because it's been way too long with no traction. It's been way too long that I've been doing this. So when I say that, bro, when I tell you, the hardest thing to do is to build a universe in your head, bro. Sure, okay, not the hardest thing, but one of the hardest things to do is to build a universe in your head. One of the other hardest things to do is to be the guy behind Blender trying to create it in a digital space. Yeah. He'll get to that in a second, but bro, I didn't come this far to have faith. Yeah, do y'all hear that? I didn't come this far to have faith. I came this far to believe. I came this far to believe that I could do it. I didn't come this far to have faith that I could do it. Because if I have faith in the fact that I can do it, that means that my I'm putting my trust in somebody else to get it done for me. I have faith in my abilities, and that's where I need to be. That's where I need to grow to be. So wherever you are right now, you need to move away from that hope that you can succeed. Move into that faith as quickly as that possible, as quickly as possible. Throw that doubt out so that you can move into belief in yourself, man. Because where we were in our lives, and I promise you, bro, the white people, like, they know where they came from.
Yep.
Their last name used to mean something. And some black people too. I ain't tripping on it. Some of y'all, some homies out there, they know exactly where they fam. Like little Daquan Johnson the fourth. Like, yeah, you know exactly where you came from. Like, I just threw a name out there, but they know exactly where they came from, bro. And I need to get my family to a spot where Amara Makram, she can say her name and her name can mean something. And in order to do that, I can't hope for that. You don't hope that my daughter is going to have a successful life because of the efforts of her father. I'm a hope for that. I can hope for it. Yeah, we can all hope. I can have. What was that? I can have faith that it's going to happen, but faith ain't knowing. The only way that you can move to knowing that something is going to happen is if you have belief in yourself and your abilities to do something. I found myself when Bree told me that. I found myself saying to myself, "Man, I hope that's hold up. You catch that, man? I hope that doesn't happen to me."
Mm.
I sent that to her, man. I sent it to her. It was so it was, bruh. It was
Yeah,
so
natural.
it came off my finger so easy. It rolled off
It's
like
natural.
it
Yeah.
rolled off like MJ with the finger roll, bro. It rolled off like I was like, damn, what made me say that?
Yep. That programming. Yeah. It, and what's insane about it? All it takes a person is to just do it. You know, like you said, throw the doubt out, throw that negativity away, and just put your head down and do it. It's we overcomplicate it so much, and we don't even know the possibilities that lie just beyond the belief. Like once you believe in yourself, it's insane, and I experienced it for myself, like, and I know you experienced it right in the book, and like we want others to experience like that creative aspect. Like once you get into it and you start like just connecting the dots, you learn more things. You create a whole universe. Visually, I'm recreating just like the small things around me digitally, and I'm like, shit, dope. This is amazing. Like, and it's like a lot of people go their entire lives without that feeling of accomplishment, without that feeling of success, without even starting to learn it. And I'm like, all it takes is just a little bit of belief in yourself and just going forward. And people can't get past that. That small little hump. Just like last episode, that one step, you're turning into a mountain and you don't push forward. You stay in the 9 to 5. You stay at the level you're at and you go nowhere. And I'm tired of seeing it. Like it, it's insane.
Man, I talked to a guy recently, and I don't know what the fuck happened, bro. I was just like, I was so dumbfounded, dog. I was just like, yo, this that really happened. And I've been telling you that I've been witnessing a lot of people. They they're a lot of people have been coming out the woodwork, paying cash for stuff that most people are struggling to get financing for. There's people
Yeah.
coming in. There's people coming in and they want something, and they got this attitude like, I'm walking out of here with this today, and then you pull their credit score, and I gotta watch my manager's head do like,
But
because they got a 415 credit score. Like it's like, yo, they're not leaving out here with that. They need a cosigner, or they gonna have to pay cash for that joint. Like they can't take that. Like we can't do it. And like, bro, had a guy come in, man, and I was just paying attention, man, just looking at some stuff, and I'm just like, who is this guy? Like he came in, it was like three of them, him, his he was a Hispanic dude. He came in with another Hispanic dude and this little white guy. The white guy, he was an IT guy, like a real IT guy, not like me. He was in cybersecurity, and he said he'd been doing cybersecurity for a few years. And the Hispanic guy, he was there to buy a bike. Yeah, they were gravitating around this dude, but the white dude was doing all the talking. So I'm sitting here looking at this situation. The white guy says, "I'm here to buy a bike for him," and I'm just like, "What? What the fuck is happening here?" Oh yeah, it gets worse. It gets worse. So
First,
so yeah yeah yeah. So he said, "I'm here to buy a bike for him, and I'm going to teach him how to ride." I was like, "Okay, yeah, he gonna take the F3 course? Yeah, he gonna take the F3 course, but by the time he get there, he gonna already know how to do everything." I was like, "All right, yeah, bet." I was like, "Yeah, so you buy the bike? How that work? Like, we doing financing or we paying cash? Like, how do we do? Where are we looking for like certain payments or every month?" It's like, "Nah, we paying cash." And like when I asked him that, he looked confused, like I offended him. Like he just kind of looked up. Nah, we. I just said I'm buying it,
right.
and he said I didn't say I was financing it. I was like, okay, all right. So they look at a particular bike. And then my man was like, "We can't get the price for that one. The price don't work. Plus, my man is brand new to bike, so we don't need to get him the we'll need to get him the top of the line screaming engine right out the door." He
Mm.
was looking at the ZX4, which is the 4-cylinder, and I was like, "Okay, yeah, you don't want that. We ain't trying to have my man die." So like, and up until this point, this is like 30 minutes into the conversation. He's just going around looking at the bike. At this point, the dude who's actually buying the bike still talking to the other Hispanic guy in Spanish. He ain't saying nothing to me yet. I'm talking to the other dude, like he buying the bike, like literally. So we get back to the desk, and this is a long story, but I'm just trying to illustrate the the demeanor that these guys had, the swagger that these dudes had. It ain't nothing coming out of corporate America. And I just want
Mm.
to make that abundantly clear that when I watch these guys, they moved in a completely different way than people move in corporate America. These guys were not related. They were not family. They were just friends. They just worked together on something, and I come to find out what that is, but that's a conversation for, we'll get to that in a second. But as I'm as we're moving back to the desk, um the guy that I was talking to the entire time, he pulls the chair out for the Hispanic guy. And I was like literally like you know how like you pull a chair out for your woman? It was almost like he was like, like setting the table for him. Like he did just about everything but wipe the fucking table off from a man in front of him. So like he pulled the chair out, Mark, across from my desk. He pulled the chair out, let the guy sit down, pushed it in front of him, and the dude leaned over the desk and looked me square in the eye just like this, introduced himself. "My name is Kevin," shook my hand. I was like, what the fuck what just happened? So we get into negotiations about the bike. They was like, "All right, cool. We gonna take that one. That's the one that we getting." Blase split. Said they were paying cash. I took 2 forms of ID. Mark. That man gave me his ID and a bank a credit card that I had never seen in my fucking life. That bitch was made of metal, and I was like, "Yo."
Yeah.
And I get back to the copier. All of my coworkers are just standing around. I was like, "Yo, have y'all ever seen a metal credit card?"
Heard him.
Everybody, everybody just looking like, and they look at me, and then they just continue talking like it was normal conversation. I'm like, "Yo, do y'all got metal credit cards? Is that something I need to know?" And then they kept brushing me off. I'm like, "Okay, yeah, that's the perks of being new at a job, I guess. I don't know." So I
Mm.
copied my man shit, took it back to the desk, bro. Literally, there was like stacks of money on my desk, bro. I'm like, what is happening? Like literally stacks of money, like dude, like ones, hundreds, 20s, 50s. I'm like, "Yo, what is happening here? Like, did I step into a fucking different universe or something?" Like he was counting the money out. He was like, "Yeah, we short." How much you said it was? Yeah, like I was like 8,300 and something, blah blah blah, whatever. It was like, okay, yeah, we short 1,500. He looked over at the Hispanic dude, was like, "Go get the rest of it."
Don't worry about it. Ah,
He had to leave to go, bro. He went to a bank to go get some more money out of his account. And I'm just
bruh.
like, where do they do this at?
Fact. Like we can't. We couldn't even agree on like what was it? 20 a month?
20 a month, bro.
Oh my
We ended a whole
god.
friendship over $20 a month.
That's
And
wild.
probably some other stuff, but still, the $20 a month was the catalyst.
That's just, that
And
that
and check out the whole $20 a month situation. We were really hyped that was going to work,
yeah.
and this whole $20 a month situation ruined us so much that we didn't even do it. We didn't even have faith in the idea after the whole $20 situation happened.
Right.
We lost faith in the fact that it could work after the whole $20 situation happened, and we didn't even do it.
Insane. Insane. And it's
Over
and
$20 a month.
there's a lot to unpack in that story. There was a lot going on in that story. But
But you see why I told it like that, right? It's
yeah.
like I could tell that these dudes, just by like their demeanor, that they were something. But I couldn't tell what that was until and we got to the desk and my man pulled the chair out for the dude and pushed that in for bro. That's something I do for Alyssa.
Mm.
I mean, he looked like he wanted to wipe the chair out and everything, Mark. Like, oh, bro, like what is happening here? But yeah, go ahead, man. Go ahead, you got it.
I was gonna say like it's with that story, after hearing that story, it's just like we don't strive for that ever. Like I have never seen a person be like, "Yo, I'm a work so hard. I'm gonna become so successful that not only am I gonna benefit from this, but my friends are gonna benefit for this. My kids are gonna benefit from this." Like we don't see that level of faith or belief in anything. And we know we know clearly it's the environment.
Yeah.
Uh, people that work 9 to 5 and that are in the environment that we are in, they're not on that at all. They're only about themselves, and all it takes is just a couple of steps, just a couple of steps out of that bubble of negativity, and you see people that just like Max said, you'll have an experience that'll blow your mind. Like you'll go somewhere and you'll see like 3 lavish houses sitting in the back of the woods, just sitting there. Each house got a boat beside it. Each house got some jet skis.
No, they ain't got it beside it. They behind it. Because the water behind it. The waterfront property. Paint the visual, bro. Go all
Yep,
out for it. Paint the picture, bro.
like just lavish scenery, right? And you know they could be neighbors. They could be best friends. They done work together to establish or to create their dream houses, their dream lifestyle, and we can't even work together with people to get something started, to just have a tool to share. Like these people creating the tools, using the tools to help others, to help
Well,
them set. It's
what I failed
insane.
to mention, what I failed to mention was that my dude had the tall driver's license. So Take
So
that.
he was a young cat.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Oh.
just got my sideways jank.
And and he didn't smell like abundant of marijuana.
Come on. So that just goes to show what Mac is trying to say is
With the Rolex,
everything that he was witnessing was
really.
legit. It was made
I don't think.
lawfully. He said, "Rolling." And it's just it's insane that because of the environment we're in, the social programming, the everything you want to blame it on, because of ourselves, our brain can't even fathom that type of lifestyle, that type of success, that type of thriving. When's the last time you heard somebody buying a bike for a friend and teaching them how to ride it?
A Huffy,
A Huffy? What is a Huffy?
the Huffy bike. It's a Huffy. It's the brand. The bikes, the mountain bikes, the pedal joints. You asked.
Motorcycle. Should have said motorcycle. How about that?
You asked. You said bike.
Yeah, I did. I did. Um, but we gotta get to a better place, people. Like whatever you need, whatever you think you need. I guess I don't even know because at this point, I don't know what can expand your mind. I can only tell you from experience. Just getting out there and experiencing life, having those moments, like Mac, having those moments where you are working and then you just come across this anomaly in your little environment or whatever. You come across this person that's like, yeah, I got you see this food truck right here. Yeah, this mine. I own this. I own a couple of them. You know, around the area. You know, if you looking for work or something, you want to do something different, you know, hit me up. You know, uh, we just brush that off. Oh, some rich guy that's trying to get more workers or nothing.
Last time I heard somebody say that, he ended up being the mayor of Alexandria.
Yeah. All right.
I met him in Mexico. He was talking about his food trucks, and next thing I know, this man is running for mayor.
I don't know how that happened. That look, we did not plan this. That is a random scenario I thought of, and the only reason I thought of because
Oh,
I
that was
went to
random. Oh, okay. I mean, I'm seeing shit like this on a daily basis. I'm literally like paying attention to everybody's story. Like the guy who
yeah.
came in last week with all the paint on his clothes, all the paint on his shoes, and was like, "Yeah, I'm here to buy a UTV." Paid $40,000 for a UTV, then turned around and said that I'm probably gonna be back to buy another one because I'm gonna tear this one up in the next few days. What do you mean?
Yeah.
Like you trading it in? No, I'm getting a second one. Actually, it'd be my third because I bought one back in 2017 too. What? We're talking about $40,000 vehicles that you don't buy for driving on the street. You buy these joints for play.
On the regular, he buy them drinks on the regular every other weekend. Yes, yes, and we don't have the belief system to put ourselves in those type of situations, put ourselves in those type of lifestyles. But we hope for those type of situations. We hope for those type of lifestyles. We hope we can thrive in situations like that.
Speaking of hope, the lottery bucket, the Mega Million is up to $20 million pot. So go and play the Mega Millions if you got hope with your hoping ass. Let's get off of here, man.
All right, what we got coming up for the people?
um, um, I'm still trying to figure out what the hell to do with the legacy of the Arcane and Flame. It's it's a little bit of a work in progress, man. Like as I'm going through it, looking at the fact that at some point I'm gonna have to add some more content in it. So uh ended up being 70 chapters after everything was said and done, after the initial story was told. But there's some other stuff, like maybe I'll go back in and add some details into the previous chapters, like some you know additional information. But bro, it's I don't know if it might be too long of a book. I'm just gonna go ahead and put that out there. Just for what it is, 10-book series. Like, it might be a little too ambitious, honestly. Like, it might be a little too ambitious. 10-book series, like, who does that? And then 70,000 or 70 chapters. Are you frozen? Oh, you're not
Nah,
frozen.
I'm good.
Yes. 70 chapters. I don't even know how many words it is right now. Like how many pages it's going to be. Like I have no idea, but we haven't even got that far yet. But there's definitely going to have to be a little more information put into it.
Mm-hmm.
But that all comes in the editing process, so we'll see what happens.
Amen. Well, alrighty, people. Just been still working on the video games. Didn't get as much as I wanted completed this week. There's been a lot going on, but other than that, still just working towards my belief in Morton's Castle, and we gonna get there. We gonna get there.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
this right here has been the Dirty Chunk Podcast, where the elephant is always welcome. It is me, your boy Marcus Morton. Always here with me is the Aaron Mack. And before we go, please trample over that like and subscribe button, because we do this for y'all, because we love y'all. We just want to give y'all the motivation to be better than y'all were yesterday. And always remember that those who shy away from addressing the elephant in the room are doomed to be crushed by the weight of it. We love y'all.
Peace. Love y'all. See y'all next week.